Hi everyone, this is Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the new Disney Store Jafar Doll. So this is the 17-inch limited edition surprise, so to speak, doll from the Aladdin series that they've released. So there was Jasmine, which was the pre-order, and then Aladdin and Jafar were kind of the surprise dolls, the ones that you had to show up at store and order that way the day they came out. So there were no pre-orders for this. He was available online, more of which were available in the US or North American store than in the UK. But he is an edition of 2500, and I think it is probably almost of the three, possibly my favorite, which is kind of surprising. So this is the first time a villain doll has had a red box, and I really like that there's a bit of a metallic sheen to this box. They have this very subtle, it's almost like a peacock feather kind of a print going around the box as well. And then his cutout here looks a little bit like one of the towers from the palace. He's a very tall character, and his box is actually just ever so slightly taller than the other 17s from the line. So if you have them and you stack them sort of side by side, you'll see that Jasmine and Aladdin's boxes are the same, and his is just a teeny bit little higher. So I'll just spin the doll around a little bit here and get a view of him from the side. So here we can see his snake staff that he comes with, and maybe a little hint of Iago there too. And then the other side. So just another side view of him here. Nothing too exciting. The back. So this is where we have all the usual details. So he's really got these sort of red gemstones, kind of like the snake eyes from his staff in the movie. And then some details about the doll. I love the little lamp logo with the smoke and the note of his certificate and his stand. And these dolls were priced at between like $120 American, $130 Canadian. The sticker for mine is actually pretty loosey-goosey, so we'll just leave it like that instead of trying to take it off. But with the dollar where I am in Canada, it is much less expensive to be able to buy these dolls in the store than it is to buy it on the Disney Store website, because we don't qualify for the free shipping. I'll tip him here. So one of the great details about him is his hat. This feather piece, which is actually plastic, which is a little disappointing, and the top of his hat, they look like they're bent over, but they are actually pinned down. You see the top of Iago there too. Nice detailing all around on this doll. So I already removed his plastic slip cover, but I do want to bring it in so I can show you one of the things I really love about him is that, unlike a lot of the other slip covers, his, you can see, has the peacock pattern, just like on the box, all the way around, which is really cool. They don't usually take the time to do that with the printing, and it's such a simple thing. And then his detail is kind of this almost like arrow heart, almost like a cobra head, actually, now that I'm looking at it, shape. And then it's got the usual, the same details on it, same image for the side panels. So the usual plastic, just the little twist. From what I understand, way back when the first Snow White doll came out, the plastic casing on hers actually had color, so it was almost like a reprint of the front of the box. All right, so let's get a nice close look at Jafar here. So you get a really good view of his face. So he's got that like perfect kind of sneering expression, his nice twisted beard. They used some really nice fabrics. One of the things I really like is this collar has a little bit of a print on it. It's hard to see. It's like a leather, it's a pseudo leather. And then they've got this stitching down across his chest. So it adds a little something to what would otherwise be just a really boring black outfit. And they have a few little black gemstones there, but you really only notice those when the light hits them. And then more of this sort of red silk type fabric. Same with the inner lining of his cape. It's a brighter red, a more smooth satiny kind of red. And then the long robe all the way down. You'll see here his hands. They did a really great job really modeling like the look of the character. You can see he's got those exceptionally long fingers. And then if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see he's got his little black boots with the pointy tips. And it's the same kind of material that's at the top, I think. Actually, it feels a little bit softer. His snake staff is pretty notable here as well. So the Cobra Staff that he used to hypnotize the Sultan. And it's got the red gemstone eyes. And it's got some detailing on the side. As it goes down here, you'll see there's this little cut into the staff. I'm really glad they included the staff with him. I assumed they would. And of course, we can't forget Iago, his feathery companion here. So they've got him perched on his shoulder. And he's just plastic, like nothing particularly fancy, although I think the paint job on him is kind of interesting because he's got these dark blotchy spots. Probably to try and give him some depth and not look just like, you know, a plastic toy. I really want to see if I can show it off a little bit. You've got his ears that are a little bit pointed. And you can see just how like sallow they made his cheeks. And from what I understand, I haven't and don't plan on deboxing mine, but he basically has sort of a pseudo bald head underneath there. So if you think of him when he disguises himself as the beggar in the sort of Sultan prison dungeon scene, his head's supposed to be kind of bald like that. The background, of course, is hard to see with the doll in front of it, but it's supposed to be kind of like when he has the throne room. So if you see at an angle down here a little bit, you can see like piles of gold, some pillars. There's right behind him, there's like a big snake head throne thing. Let's see if there's any more view from the other side. It's hard to see. You can only catch like a little glimpse. The snake head's just in behind the plastic there, right where that round part is, where my thumb is highlighting. That's where it is there. There are collectors that debox their dolls and then they post those images online for people to enjoy. So that's a really good way to look in more detail at some of the finer spots for those kind of box details, capes, gowns, that sort of thing. His cape, even just from feeling it, there's no extra stitching on the back. It's just simple, plain black. Now, one really interesting thing to note about Jafar, and I planned on contacting the Disney store about it. I haven't seen anyone on any of the communities I'm in post any official response from Disney about this, but it has to do with his certificate of authenticity, which is in the usual place hidden underneath the doll. So here we've got his certificate. So you have to pay attention to the wording here. So it says, like, the limited edition Jafar doll released in 2015 by the Disney store has been meticulously designed, blah, 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 heirloom doll. And mine's number 1000 of 2500. You can see there. Now this is the funny part. If you flip over the certificate, you get your French side, which is hard to see with the warning in the plastic. But you'll see right here, it says Anna. And as you read through in the French, it says it's the limited edition Anna doll from Frozen. So something Disney's quality control obviously did not pick up on. One of our community members pointed that out. They were wondering if it would make the doll more valuable in some way. Unless Disney decides to reissue certificates, which would be a tactical nightmare for them. I can't see that having any impact on the value because all of the dolls have the same error in printing on their certificate. But it is something to note if you're looking to buy one and someone, say, sent you an image that had both sides, the French side having it say Anna, it's not some kind of a scam, it's not them bootlegging the doll, that's actually how the certificate came. So that is the 17-inch limited edition Jafar doll, just recently released from the Disney store. I absolutely love him. I've always found a very entertaining villain, but for the villain dolls I have, he's probably one of my favorites, and he's the first male villain that Disney's done a doll of in this size. So I really, really love the way this doll turned out, and I highly recommend it as part of your collection. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Kait Collectible. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe.